Good day. Today I'll be doing a quick review of the OneTeacher app that was launched and has been doing a couple of runs on Twitter by a team of Africans and was being sponsored by the SCBC TV, which is actually located in the south of Africa. And apparently, I came across this app on Twitter and I thought it was quite an interesting app, not just for the people that this app has been launched to support, but I think it's quite a great innovation for the whole African community. So I just said I should do a quick review regarding the app and just to see what the app has got to provide to the people of Africa and to this specific region, which is the British Southern Cameroons, which, as we know, they've been in a war situation now for over 3 years and with children not going to school. So this group of individuals have come together to create this app, OneTeacher, to be able to enable learning away from school, which means that parents can sit in the confines of their homes and they can actually engage their children in education, which I think is really it's a good innovation, and I think it's quite interesting. I said, let me just do a quick review of what I discovered with the app and how it works. So I'll just start by launching the OneTeacher app. It says enabling home education with fun offline. So that's one of the key features of this app, is the fact that it can work offline. I'm now connected to the internet while accessing the app, so I will do it offline also just to make sure everything is working well. So I do like the speed at which it launches. It means it's a quite lightweighted app. It's just 4 megabyte or so once downloading this, and it takes you straight forward into the app. And on the landing screen, you can see a couple of subjects already there: numeracy, literacy, year 1 science, history, computer science, geography, English language, chemistry, history, economics, and a lot of other subjects there. I can see there are other subjects there that says like history update in progress, secondary education upgrade or update in progress, physics up. So my understanding is these subjects are still being updated, which is quite good. Letting the users be aware that the subjects are undergoing updates is quite a positive aspect of it, so that they are aware of what they're looking at. Yeah, so I do like the colors are quite not so bright, not so it's quite good, just primary colors that are quite friendly to the eyes, nothing with that can disturb you from seeing what you need to see. Characters big enough to be able to read. So let's go through the menu. I can see at the top right they've got a search there, which I guess is to search for topics. So let's put the new, well, as you see, once you start typing, that's a good feature. It brings up the key subjects already that carries what you're typing. I think that's quite a good feature, which makes searching for specific topics quite easy. I can see the bell button there. That's for notifications. There's no notifications now, and I think that should be used for pushing notifications. I think if they have an update on the app, so that is quite a good feature. So it tells the users that they've done an update and they can go back online, get their app updated, which is quite a good feature. So let's go top left sandwich button. It gives you OneTeacher enabling home education with fun offline. I will just run quickly through the menus. The first says it's a game, so it says the Amber Brainiac game. Let's go into that. So wow, so that's a good one. It has a quiz also that has been embedded into this. It says welcome, test your skills on general knowledge, family fun time. Are you ready? Yes, I am. And it gives you a good quiz here. I love the screen, quite interesting. Amber Brainiac game. So it gives you a question: use appropriate articles. I saw Dutch one-eyed man. I saw a one-eyed man. So it's quite an interesting. So it's a multiple choice from what I can see. So that's the right answer. I think so. It goes in red. Next question: Dhaka is biggest city in Bangladesh. So let's get a wrong answer and see how it works. So let me see no article. So it gives you the right answer, which I know is there, that Dakar is the biggest city. So that's quite interesting. So it gives you the wrong and it flags up the right answer, which is quite good. So that's fine. It's got a volume which you can switch off and on at the top. As you can see, it changing colors, and it has lifelines. So the hearts, when I failed that question, it took away one of my hearts. So let me try this. Let me just select randomly any quick answer and see what happens. So you can see, selecting the wrong answer, it gives you the right answer and it takes away one of your hearts. So, well, like a gamer, that's your life that's reduced. So that's quite interesting. So let's go out of this. Do you want to exit the game or quit the game? Yes. Back to the main menu. Yeah, so that's quite interesting, something which users can look into it. So favorites is, if you've I've not added anything to the favorites, so that's quite self-explanatory. Settings, more often, is to accept notification, and they've got the text size, so they've got different sizes, so you can put large fonts to increase the fonts if you want it to be a little bit larger, but I'll just leave it at normal. And go back to the menu, about OneTeacher. So they've given a brief description of what OneTeacher. I encourage people to read through all this because it will give you some understanding of how the app works. Just to keep this video short, I will not be reading through this, but I went through this before, and it gives you a full details of how the app works, and that is quite interesting. So I encourage every user to go into about OneTeacher. First of all, read through the notes there, and you'll be able to understand what the app is all about. So they've got their YouTube link. I won't be going through that. Facebook, everybody knows what that is. Twitter, Google Plus, your privacy policy, share the app with other people, you can rate them, and they've got more applications linked to that also. So that's the menu, just to keep it simple. And let's just jump into the most interesting part of the app, which is the content. So what I found interesting with this app was how it has been developed. So this is not an app for teaching people, or you go in there and see textbooks that you can read. It's not that. It's an app that has been developed to provide you with a guide, and you can use your textbooks at home following this guide to study. It's something which can be monitored by the teacher or by the parent who is teaching the student that specific subject, and they can pick whatever textbooks they want to use. Some of the content are related to how this curriculum was built by them, and they have examples of books which are found there that were not, I don't think it might be present in the nation, but from my understanding is you can use your own textbooks and use the app as a guide to study, which is quite interesting. So let's go into the details. Let's pick a subject here. So I do like this. Let's just go with the first one for numeracy, and this is for age 3 plus, which means it's for children from the age of 3 and above. So when we select number recognition, it gives us the details. So this is like a lesson plan or a guide to teaching number recognition from 1 to 10 for children. So it's quite self-explanatory. It gives you a learning objective, an introduction. It tells you how long that introduction session is supposed to be. And then behind that, it tells you that half your students come together as a group, which means that it's giving you set instructions on how to organize the class for them to be able to achieve this specific lesson which you're teaching them, or whatever the parent is teaching them. So it says you should motivate the students by beginning to say, today we will be learning about numbers. We all know that's how a class runs. You ask them to raise their hands if they know any number, which I think is quite an interesting way of studying because it's more interactive. It's not the teacher just talking to the students. It's both ways. They are all interacting, which I think is a good way the curriculum has been built. It's more an interactive curriculum, and this actually is good because it gives parents an idea of what the children are learning. It also enables teachers to be able to build better lesson plans for their classes and how to interact with students by identifying those who are learning, where they are strong and where they are weak. So I think it's a good lesson plan for that. Let's go out of that. Let's pick another subject, which let me see. Oh, money maths. That's a good one. Let's see money maths. It says here the objective is to learn about money. So it's a money maths numeracy course. You ask the students what they know about money by giving, for example, what is money, why do they need to learn about money, how is money used in real life, who uses money, where is money used. So I think it's a good way of approaching how to learn about money, and it also gives you, the person teaching the students, be it a parent or a teacher, what you should be looking for. And I think with this, then you can pick a textbook that deals with money and try to adapt it to what you're teaching the students, which is quite interesting. So yeah, I can, going through that, I could see that trend did roll throughout all the applications which I came across on this, apart from the ones that said they were still in progress. So this is secondary education that says update in progress, which means, to my understanding, they are still working on that to put content, which is quite good. It's self-explanatory. It tells you that it is being they are working on it, rather than you going into a subject and you can't find any details. That is quite a good one. Let's go to biology. You've got some subjects here. So biology, I think more courses needs to be added there, but they've got some nice courses here. Let me see, the life cycle of butterflies. I think that's a good one. As you can see, it's connected to the internet, I think. So it gives you a picture of the life cycle. Learning objective, it has a few, so it's, the app is quite good because it can carry pictures also. So where does it come from? Students will be able to identify the main topic of a text. Students will be able to retell key details of a text. Students will be able to identify the sequence of a butterfly's life cycle. So I think it's a rich guide to studying. I did find it really interesting, and given the fact that this is the trend, I think that it gives the teacher and the parent a guide in order to be able to go through teaching. One other factor which I discovered was in mathematics. Let me go down, which I saw, which was quite interesting. So let's see. Let's go. Where is it? Yep. Down mathematics. So they have mathematics put in different quotes: arrow, stroke, arrow, y1. To my understanding, when I went through the about the app, this actually identify year 1 to year 2, year 2, year 3, year 2 to year 3, year 3. So it's just guys. So let's go into, let's say, arrow, which is more of an introduction. So when this is math, I thought math was quite interesting the way it was built. So they have an introduction. OneTeacher suggested curriculum provide reception, weekly maths plans below. Maths blocks based on a new 2019 early learning goals will be coming from September, which is this year. We will be phasing out the plans as we believe our blocks will offer you all of the same advantages and more. Find out more about timetable for OneTeacher suggestion curriculum early years maths. So it gives you an introduction of what this OneTeacher is. So it's, from my understanding, it's a sort of a curriculum that has been built to support the people. So let's go with the first one that says it's counting numbers. So it tells you to recite numbers from 10 to 10 and then 20. So say the use of numbers in a song, rhymes and stories. Count up to the objects, or count up to objects to 10 in a line by moving them. So I think it's really an interesting way, giving these key aspects of studying that teachers can use to develop a better learning guide or a lesson plan, which it's quite helpful. It can also tell the parent what to cover, what textbooks to use to be able to enable their children achieve this subject of counting numbers. So I think that was quite interesting. So this actually runs through the whole app, all these guides, which biology you can find there. They've also provided guides and the hearts and everything is there in details. So next we'll go offline now and let's see how it works. So go down, internet off, that's Wi-Fi turn off, and let's go back, let's go out of the app. So there, exit, Are you sure you want to stop learning and close OneTeacher? Remember to practice what you have learned and see you next time. Yep, I'm out. So that's OneTeacher out. Internet Wi-Fi, as you can see, is grayed out. Wi-Fi at the top left means there's no Wi-Fi. So let's launch OneTeacher now without Wi-Fi and see how it works. There it goes. So it still launches up without Wi-Fi. Everything is there. Let's go to the menus. I can still see all my menus, which works offline. Let's try by testing the game that we went through before. Wow, so the game is there. It works offline. I will just choose the correct answer. I'll just randomly pick any question, any answer here, just to keep this video short. So you can see next question. Yeah, let me just go quickly through this. Which one of the following is correct? The Na is the longest river. That should be the correct answer. Alexander Fleming dash penicillin invented penicillin. So Rahim is Dutch in the class. Long question, random questions. Let's just see what. So at the end, you see the app works offline, and this is really interesting. As you can see, the scorecard. It gives you the option for you to be able to share your scores with whoever you want to share your scores with. And I think the most interesting part of this exercise is it gives you a full review of all the answers you had correctly and the ones which you had wrong. I think my only feedback on this is if they can have these questions related to the subjects and to subjects that students are studying, it should be a very good thing. So that's one thing they need to work on. So that tells you that the app works offline. Let's try the search and see if the search numbers. So search works offline. It brings you the details directly to the topic offline. It tells you there that you can copy it to your clipboard. It gives you the option to share, but they share, so you can see the different buttons to share, but we are offline, so I don't think we will be able to share that. So if I was to select to share via email, then it will go through that option. So read article, blah blah blah, so that we've got that. So this actually tells you that the app works offline, because I can access all the details. Let's go to a topic. Let's see the ones I've got images. I think biology had an image about the heart. So there it is. You can find the details working all offline. So this is quite interesting. So yeah, so that's just a quick review of the OneTeacher app. I encourage everybody to download this, go through it yourself, do your own review. Also leave a feedback. I will actually leave my feedback regarding, I do enjoy the game part of it, and I think that the game should be more developed around the subjects that is being studied, learners are doing, so that they can test themselves, and being the fact that it can be done offline, that is quite an interesting part. So yeah, this is just a quick review of the OneTeacher app that's been introduced by the people or the SCBC TV from the south of Africa, and apparently it is to enable learning in the British Southern Cameroons and any other African country, especially in this time that they're in war and children have been out of school. So I think being at home, parents should be encouraged, knowing that there is something out there that they can use to also enable their children to at least learn while they're not in school. And I like the disclaimer, which is actually also being used when you go into the About Us. It does say that in no formal way does this replace studying in school. So it is just a guide, an alternative form of education for children, and it is not replacing the fact that children are supposed to go to school. So I do like that disclaimer by them. It also gives you sample lesson plans for teachers. So as you can see, they've given sample lesson plans which parents or teachers can use to develop all the other topics that are within the app. So I think this is quite an interesting app, and I encourage everybody to download this and give it a go and see how it goes. So I will leave it for now, and thanks very much, viewers, for being here. And as I said, just a quick review of the OneTeacher app. And thank you very much. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye.